Let me ask you something. What are you holding on to right now that's keeping you stuck? What weight are you carrying that's making it harder to move forward? Don't answer out loud, just think about it for a second. Maybe it's a relationship that's been dragging you down, a job that doesn't value you, or even a mindset that keeps telling you this is all there is. Whatever it is, I'm here to tell you something you might not want to hear, but you absolutely need to sometimes. The best thing you can do for yourself, the most powerful, life changing thing, is to let it go. Now, I know that's easier said than done. Letting go. It's uncomfortable. It's scary. It feels like you're stepping into a void, like you're giving up control. But let me tell you, that void isn't emptiness. It's possibility. It's potential. It's space for the things, the people, the opportunities that are meant for you to find you. So tonight, we're not talking about giving up. We're not talking about running away. We're talking about making room. We're talking about clearing the clutter from your life, your heart, your mind, so that what's truly meant for you, what's waiting to bless you, to grow you, to elevate you, can finally have a place to land. Are you ready for that? Are you ready to stop holding on to what's holding you back and start creating space for what's meant to move you forward? If you are, stay with me, because by the time we're done, you won't just understand why creating space matters, you'll be ready to step into it. Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something. How many times in your life have you chased something that wasn't chasing you back? How many times have you poured your energy, your time, your love into something or someone that didn't give you the same in return? It's human nature, isn't it, to want what we can't have? To believe that if we just try harder, if we just hold on a little longer, things will turn around. But let me tell you something, there's a big difference between perseverance and self-sacrifice. And too often we cross the line, sacrificing our dignity, our peace of mind, and sometimes even our dreams, chasing what isn't meant for us. Life has a way of showing us where we're supposed to be. Sometimes it's subtle, a closed door here, a missed opportunity there. Other times it's loud and clear rejection, disappointment, heartbreak. And yet, instead of listening, we fight it. We try to force it. We tell ourselves, if I just hold on, it'll work out. But here's the truth: what's for you will not pass you by. And what's not for you, it's not worth your pursuit. Stop chasing after people who don't value you. Stop running after opportunities that make you compromise who you are. Stop trying to prove your worth to those who are blind to it. You are not a beggar. You are not here to plead for scraps of affection, attention, or respect. You are here to live boldly, to shine brightly, to stand tall in your own light. And the right people, the right opportunities, they will see that light. They will meet you where you are. Choosing yourself isn't selfish, it's necessary. It's the foundation of everything else in your life. Because when you stop choosing what's not choosing you, you create space. Space for what's meant for you. Space for the people who see your worth without you having to shout it. Space for the opportunities that align with your purpose, your passion, your truth. You see, life is too short to waste on dead-end pursuits. The clock is ticking, and every moment you spend chasing what isn't yours is a moment you could be building what is. So let go. Let go of the job that drains you but doesn't value you. Let go of the friendship that takes and takes but never gives. Let go of the relationship that leaves you questioning your own worth. When you stop choosing what's not choosing you, you reclaim your power. You send a message to the universe, to yourself, that you are enough just as you are. And trust me, when you make that declaration, things begin to change. The right people, the right opportunities, they start to find you. Not because you're chasing them, but because you've made room for them. So I challenge you right here, right now, to make a decision. To stop running after what doesn't run after you. To stop settling for less than you deserve. To stop dimming your light just to fit into spaces that were never meant for you. Choose yourself. Every single day, choose yourself. And watch how the world around you starts to shift. Ladies and gentlemen, let me take a moment to speak directly to your heart, to that part of you that's been running, chasing, hoping, and fighting for something or someone that just isn't meeting you halfway. I want you to hear me, truly hear me. When I say stop choosing what's not choosing you, I'm not talking about giving up or walking away from every challenge. No, life is full of battles worth fighting. But some battles, some pursuits, they're not battles at all. They're chains holding you back from your freedom, your peace, your destiny. Now, I know what you might be thinking. You've probably been told your whole life to fight for what you want, to never give up, to keep pushing until the walls fall down. And there's wisdom in persistence, I won't deny that. But there's also wisdom in discernment. There's wisdom in knowing when the thing you're fighting for isn't fighting for you. Because let's face it, life is too short, too unpredictable, too precious to spend it begging for someone else's attention, approval, or affection. Think about it. How many hours, days, even years have you spent chasing after things that made you feel small, that drained you, ignored you, or left you questioning your own worth? Maybe it was a job that never recognized your hard work, or a friend who only called when they needed something. Maybe it was a relationship that left you feeling unseen, unheard, unimportant. Whatever it was, you gave it everything, didn't you? Your time, your energy, your heart. And what did you get in return? A one-sided effort. A feeling that you were running on a treadmill going nowhere. Let me tell you this, love, respect, opportunities, they're not things you should have to beg for. They're not things you should have to chase relentlessly, hoping that one day they'll turn around and notice you. True connection, true opportunity, they meet you halfway. They recognize your value without you having to shout it from the rooftops. And if they don't, if they require you to shrink yourself, to compromise who you are just to fit in, then they're not for you. You see, choosing yourself isn't an act of selfishness, it's an act of survival. It's about reclaiming your power, about standing tall and saying, I am worth more than this because you are. You are worth more than a half-hearted relationship, a dead-end job, or a friendship that takes more than it gives. You are worth more than the constant struggle to prove your worth to people who should have seen it from the start. But here's the thing, recognizing your worth doesn't mean the world will suddenly align itself to meet you where you are. It's not magic. It takes courage to walk away from what's comfortable but unfulfilling. It takes strength to stop chasing what you've been taught to chase, whether it's a person, a dream, or even a version of yourself that no longer serves you. It takes faith to believe that by letting go, you're making room for something better. But I promise you it's worth it. When you stop choosing what's not choosing you, you start to notice the things that are. The people who show up for you consistently and without conditions. The opportunities that excite you, challenge you, and make you feel alive. The parts of yourself that you've forgotten in the chaos of trying to be everything for everyone else. You start to build a life that feels like yours, not a life shaped by chasing, but a life shaped by choosing. And let me tell you something else, when you choose yourself, the world doesn't always applaud. Some people might call you selfish. Some might accuse you of giving up. But let them talk. Because those who truly care about you, who truly see you, will understand. They'll know that by choosing yourself, you're not abandoning others, you're simply refusing to abandon yourself. Life will test you on this again and again. It will dangle shiny distractions in front of you, things that look good but don't feel right. It will tempt you with situations that promise validation but demand your dignity in return. And in those moments, you'll have to ask yourself, is this worth it? Does this align with who I am and what I want? If the answer is no, let it go. It's not always easy, but it's always necessary. Because here's the truth, what's meant for you will find you. It won't need to be chased or forced. It won't make you question your worth or compromise your values. It will come to you when you're ready, when you've created the space for it by letting go of everything that wasn't. And when it does, you'll understand why nothing else ever worked out. You'll see that the closed doors, the missed opportunities, the heartbreaks, they weren't punishments, they were redirections. They were clearing the path for something greater. So my friends, I urge you to take a hard look at your life. Ask yourself, what am I choosing that's not choosing me? What am I holding on to that's holding me back? And then have the courage to let go. Not because it's easy, but because it's right. Not because you've given up, but because you're ready to rise up. Choose yourself. Every single day, choose yourself. Because when you do, you send a message not just to the world, but to yourself that you are enough. You are worthy. You are deserving of all the good things life has to offer. And trust me, when you believe that, truly believe it, the universe has a way of rising to meet you. Life has a way of teaching us lessons, often in ways we don't expect and frankly don't want. One of the most profound lessons life offers is learning how to recognize when a door is closed, and more importantly, accepting that it's not meant for us to push it open. It's a lesson about trust, about faith, and about understanding the flow of life itself. Today, I want to speak to you not just from logic, but from a place that resonates with the deepest parts of your soul. I want you to hear me when I say recognize those closed doors for what they are: a divine redirection, not a punishment. How often have you faced rejection only to feel like the world was conspiring against you? You applied for that job you thought was your dream, poured your heart into that relationship, or pursued a passion with all the energy you could muster, only to have it not work out. The pain of that is real, I know. It can feel like a punch to the gut, like the universe is saying, you're not good enough, but let me tell you something: rejection is not a reflection of your value. It's a reflection of alignment, or rather misalignment. It's the universe, or God, or fate stepping in and saying, not here, not this, not now. Closed doors aren't failures. They're signal signs guiding you towards something better, something more aligned with who you are and who you're meant to be. But here's the problem: we don't always see it that way, do we? We see a closed door, and instead of moving on, we start pounding on it. We yell, we cry, we plead, why won't this work? What's wrong with me? And the truth is, there's nothing wrong with you. The door is closed because it's not your door, and that's okay. Recognizing a closed door requires humility. It requires us to admit that we don't always know what's best for us. And let's be honest, that's hard. We like to think we have it all figured out. We set our plans, we map out our goals, and we think this is it. This is what I want. This is what I deserve. But sometimes what we think we want and what we truly need are two very different things. And the only way we learn that is through those closed doors. Think about a time when something didn't work out for you, only for you to realize later that it was the best thing that ever happened. Maybe you didn't get that job, but it led you to an even better opportunity. Maybe that relationship ended, but it made room for the love of your life. Maybe that failure pushed you to dig deeper, to grow stronger, to become the person you are today. That's the power of closed doors. They're not the end of the road, they're a turn in the journey. But here's the thing: you have to trust the process. You have to trust that the closed door isn't there to harm you, it's there to guide you. And trust isn't easy, especially when you're standing in front of that door, feeling the sting of rejection, the weight of disappointment. It's natural to question, to doubt, to wonder if maybe you're just not trying hard enough. But let me tell you, there's a difference between persistence and insistence. Persistence is about working hard, about staying committed to your goals. Insistence, on the other hand, is about forcing something that isn't meant to be. And life, my friends, doesn't reward insistence. When a door is closed, you have two choices. You can waste your time and energy trying to force it open, or you can step back and look around. Because I promise you, there's another door waiting for you. It might not look like the one you were hoping for. It might not lead where you thought you wanted to go, but it's there, and it's open, and it's waiting for you to walk through it. This is where faith comes in. Faith in yourself, faith in the journey, faith in something greater than yourself. Faith that the closed doors are not roadblocks, they're detours. They're steering you towards something better, something more aligned with your true purpose. But you'll never find that better path if you're too busy staring at the door that's closed. Now, let's talk about the courage it takes to walk away from a closed door. Because let's be real, it's not easy. It's not easy to let go of the dream you've been holding on to, the relationship you've invested in, the path you thought you were supposed to take. It takes strength to say, this isn't working, and that's okay. I'm going to trust that there's something else for me, but that's exactly what you have to do. Because holding on to a closed door doesn't just keep you stuck, it keeps you from moving forward. And moving forward is what life is all about. It's about growth, about discovery, about stepping into the unknown with an open heart and an open mind. It's about embracing the idea that life isn't a straight line, it's a winding road full of twists and turns and unexpected detours. And those detours, those are where the magic happens. Those are where you find the things you didn't even know you were looking for. So, how do you recognize a closed door? You listen, you pay attention to the signs. When something feels forced, when it drains you more than it fulfills you, when it leaves you feeling empty instead of whole, that's a closed door. When you're constantly met with resistance, with obstacles that seem insurmountable, that's a closed door. And when you feel in your gut that something just isn't right, that's a closed door. Trust that feeling. Trust yourself. Goo. And once you recognize that door, let it be. Don't fight it. Don't try to break it down. Don't waste your energy on something that's not meant for you. Instead, take a deep breath, step back, and start looking for the open doors. Because they're there. They're always there. You just have to be willing to see them. Life is a journey, and every closed door is part of that journey. It's a chance to learn, to grow, to discover new paths and new new possibilities. It's a reminder that you are not in control of everything, and that's okay. Because sometimes the best things in life come when you least expect them. When you're not looking, when you've let go of what you thought you wanted and made room for what's truly meant for you. So the next time you find yourself standing in front of a closed door, don't see it as a failure. See it as an opportunity. An opportunity to trust, to grow, to move forward. See it as life's way of saying, not this, not here, not now. But something else is waiting for you, something better, something greater, and then, with all the courage and faith you can muster, turn away from that door and start walking toward the open ones. Because they're there waiting for you to find them. Life at its core is a delicate balance of holding on and letting go, of knowing when to fight and when to surrender. But perhaps the most profound act of self-care, the truest act of wisdom, is creating space not just for the things you want, but for the things that are meant for you. And today I want to talk to you about just that, the power, the necessity, the beauty of creating space for what's meant for you. We live in a world that glorifies busyness, a world that tells you to always be doing, striving, achieving, a world that says, fill your calendar, fill your mind, fill your life. But in all this noise, all this activity, we often forget one crucial thing: space. Space to breathe, space to think, space to feel, and most importantly, space to receive. Because here's the truth: you cannot welcome what's meant for you if your life is cluttered with things that aren't. Think about it. Imagine your life as a room. If that room is packed with old furniture, with things that no longer serve you, where will the new things go? Where is there room for growth, for change, for possibility? The same is true of your heart, your mind, your soul. When you cling to what no longer fits, you block what's trying to come in. When you hold on to relationships, opportunities, or habits that don't align with who you are or who you're becoming, you close yourself off to the gifts life is waiting for you. Creating space is an act of faith. It's saying, I trust that by letting go of what isn't meant for me, I'm making room for something better. It's not easy. Let's not pretend that it is. Letting go of the familiar, even when it's not serving you, can feel terrifying. It's like standing on the edge of a cliff, not knowing what lies beyond the leap. But let me tell you something: what lies beyond is freedom. Freedom to grow, to evolve, to step into the fullness of your potential. And yet we resist. Why? Because we're afraid. Afraid of the unknown, afraid of emptiness, afraid that if we let go, there will be nothing to take its place. But here's the paradox: it's only in the emptiness that the new can be born. It's only in the letting go that the receiving can begin. You can't grasp the future if your hands are still clinging to the past. So how do we create space? It starts with awareness. It starts with looking honestly at your life and asking, what am I holding on to that's holding me back? Maybe it's a relationship that feels more like a weight than a blessing. Maybe it's a job that drains your soul. Maybe it's a belief, a fear, a story you've been telling yourself about who you are and what you're capable of. Whatever it is, you have to see it for what it is. You have to acknowledge that it's not serving you. And then you have to let it go. But letting go is just the first step. The real work begins in the space you create. Because here's the thing about space, it's not just about emptiness, it's about possibility, it's about intention, it's about consciously choosing what you want to fill that space with. And this is where most of us falter. We let go of one thing only to fill the void with something else just as misaligned. We rush to fill the space because emptiness feels uncomfortable. But if you can sit with that discomfort, if you can resist the urge to fill the space too quickly, something miraculous happens. The right things start to find you. You see, creating space is about more than just clearing out the old. It's about cultivating the conditions for the new to flourish. It's about being intentional with your time, your energy, your attention. It's about saying no to what doesn't serve you so you can say yes to what does. It's about trusting that life is abundant, that there is more than enough for you, and that what's meant for you will not pass you by. But here's the catch: you have to be ready to receive it. And being ready means being open. It means letting go of the need to control, the need to force, the need to make things happen on your timeline. It means surrendering to the flow of life, trusting that what's meant for you will come to you, not because you've chased it, but because you've created the space for it. This isn't just a passive act. It's not about sitting back and waiting for life to happen. It's about being an active participant in your own becoming. It's about showing up for yourself, doing the inner work, and aligning your life with your values, your purpose, your truth. It's about asking yourself, who am I? What do I want? What am I here for? And then it's about aligning your actions with those answers. When you create space, you invite alignment, you invite clarity, you invite the kind of opportunities, relationships, and experiences that nourish your soul. And let me tell you, there is nothing more fulfilling than living a life that feels aligned. A life where you're not just going through the motions, but truly thriving. A life where you're not chasing, but attracting. A life where you're not settling, but soaring. But it all starts with space. It starts with the courage to let go, the faith to trust, and the wisdom to wait. It starts with saying, I am worthy of more than this, and then creating the space for that more to arrive. It starts with you. So I ask you, what are you holding on to that you need to let go of? What clutter, physical, emotional, mental, do you need to clear out of your life? And what space do you need to create for the things that are truly meant for you? Creating space is not a one-time act. It's a practice, a way of being. It's a commitment to yourself, to your growth, to your highest good. It's about showing up for yourself every day and asking, am I creating space for what I want, or am I holding on to what I don't? And then it's about making the choice, the brave, bold choice to let go, to trust, and to receive. Because at the end of the day, life isn't about how much you can hold on to. It's about how much space you can create. It's about how open you can be to the beauty, the magic, the abundance that life has to offer. It's about living not from a place of fear, but from a place of trust. Trust in yourself, trust in the process, trust in the unfolding of your life. And when you live from that place, when you create that space, you'll be amazed at what finds you. You'll look around one day and realize that everything you've been searching for, everything you've been chasing, everything you've been dreaming of is here. Not because you forced it, but because you created the space for it. And that, my friends, is the power of creating space for what's meant for you. Now let's bring this home. Think about everything we've talked about tonight. Think about the weight you've been carrying, the doors you've been knocking on, the spaces in your life that have been filled with things that don't align with your purpose, your truth, your soul. Think about the times you've clung to what wasn't serving you out of fear, out of habit, out of the belief that maybe that's all there was. But now you know better. Now you see the power of creating space not as a loss, but as a gift. You understand that letting go isn't about giving up, it's about making room. Room for the things that are aligned, the opportunities that are destined, the blessings that have been waiting for you to open the door. And here's the beautiful thing: the moment you create that space, the moment you choose yourself, the moment you trust the process, life meets you where you are. The right people, the right paths, the right moments, they start to flow into your life, not because you chased them, but because you were ready for them. So now the choice is yours. Will you hold on to what's holding you back? Or will you take that brave step toward freedom, toward possibility, toward what's truly meant for you? I hope you choose the latter. I hope you choose you. And when you do, I hope you walk through this life with your head held high, your heart wide open, and your arms ready to receive all the beauty, all the abundance, all the greatness that's been waiting for you. Because it's there. It's always been there. And now it's your time. Thank you.